Hello, Grant Wiley here from Worthington Publishing with a bonus video from today. Today is Wednesday, December 20th, 2017. We just uploaded Grant's Game Room game component review for GMT's Next War Poland, and I wanted to give you a preview of 3 of our upcoming games, 2 reprints and 1 new game in our Rev War series. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please go below, click the subscribe link, share it with your gaming friends, let them know what's going on. These games are still available on pre-order. We did them on Kickstarter, and these are printer proofs, which we've already approved. But these are the printed boxes, and you can see what we've done here is put together a cool image from a famous painting from the American Revolution with the 3 boxes. When you stack them together like that, you see them end to end. But first, the game components. This is a 2 reprints, New York 1776, Trenton 1776, and a new game, Saratoga 1777, all using the same basic rules for gameplay. Let's get into what's in each box. New York 1776, it's a beautiful box. It's 11 by 11 by 2 1/4. This fits in a nice mailer. It's got a linen finish. Don't know if you can hear that, how nice these boxes are. It's absolutely incredible. You get a bit of blurb, a sizzle, a picture of the blocks, picture of the map, and a little bit of information on game design and playability. Now this is a printer proof, so it doesn't have everything in it. It's got most of the stuff. You get red and blue blocks. These are 20mm by 20mm by 10mm blocks. Very nice, good sharp blue, sharp reds. I'm not seeing anything, any problems with any of the blocks from any of these games. The game board, and these are hard-mounted game boards in all 3 of these games. Okay, so this is of the New York campaign where General Howe was trying to trap General Washington. Again, good sturdy map boards, is hard-mounted, good colors. Everything came through nice and clear. It runs from White Plains all the way down to Staten Island area. You got a cardstock battle board. This is used when when 2 armies of opposing sides end up in the same location. Depending on the number of units in the area, you either go to a battle board or you go to a skirmish. You get labels, a set of glossy labels to apply to the blocks. These are really nice. They peel off easy. You get all the markers. Everything needed is right here on these blocks. So there's nothing separate here that's needed. Let's see. Full color game rules. There's only 8 pages of rules, and that counts scenario in this. Optional rules, designer notes. Some good detailed examples here for gameplay. What else? Game setup, tells you how, victory conditions. So pretty simple game. It's actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4.5. Really 5 pages of rules, recipe, and historical summary, design notes, game strategy, optional rules, and just some frequently asked questions on the back. That's it for New York. You get dice in the game too. We just don't have them in this. We pull the dice out so they're not rattling around in there. Next, Trenton 1776. The next part of this, after Washington retreated from New York where Howe almost trapped him, we get into the Trenton campaign, which You know, Trenton and Princeton were basically the battles that saved the American Army from dissolving. These are great boxes. I like the squareness. I like the uniformity. They're the same size as our current Holdfast boxes. It's a pattern we're going to. Again, nice glossy label sheets for British and American units and leaders. I'll do a picture of these hopefully while we're talking. Again, same approximately 60 blocks, 30 red, 30 blue, representing the forces. Special rules for using the battle board with Trenton. There is a battle board in this. Just like the other, we didn't originally in the original game have battle board battles in it, but we did include those. Trenton's a little bit different of a hard-mounted game board. It is a hard-mounted game board, same material. You're getting the same good quality wrapped edges on the board, so it runs all the way off, which I really love. This campaign was during the winter of 1776, so there's times when this river freezes over, and General Washington was smart enough to commandeer all the boats along the river, so the British being able to cross, not cross becomes important. You know, if they do cross, do they become trapped on one side of the river? Can lead to some pretty cool things happening. You got Philadelphia way down here in the corner, and Staten Island up in the top corner, which kind of would connect to the New York board. Again, all these games use the same basic principles for the rules. There's some special rules for all of them, but for the most part, like in New York, you've got the British being able to move their forces up and down the river there outside of Manhattan, using their navy. In this, it's the river freezing over, but the units and the system are all still basically the same. Again, you got a front cover on the rules, so let's see what we got. We got 1, 2 big graphic examples here, big movement example, big battle example. So really you put these 2 pages together, that's 3 pages of rules, really 3.5, 4 pages of rules. We tightened this one up somewhat because you didn't have the Navy moving up and down like in New York. A couple scenarios, you got a campaign game, and then the Christmas surprise Battle of Trenton campaign or scenario, and then Bagging the Fox where the British were trying to trap Washington. So you got 2 scenarios in a battle here, whereas in New York you just get the main battle. So pretty good graphics on this. 8-page color glossy rule book. Again, comes with dice. We didn't forget the dice, don't worry. We just pull them all out. Doop. And now, my personal favorite, our new one, Saratoga 1777. Again, comes in the same style box. Big picture of the board, some nice, beautiful color blocks. You know, what's the game about, tells you the complexity level. And on all these, complexity is about a 3 out of 10. Even though it's a block game, guys, these are easy to play solitaire because what happens is you get a set number of action points each turn to move either leaders with forces or individual units. So say you got 3 action points, you can move a leader plus units with him, and each leader is rated for how many units they can move and how fast they can move, or you can move that number of individual units. So it creates a randomness to where solitaire play is pretty good with these. Great picture of Burgoyne's surrender. Okay, this one is a little bit different because it's a new title. We went a little bit different. You get 2 sets of labels in this. One with crossed rifles, the other with a picture of a soldier. You can apply either set you want to the blocks. If you have a preference for having the little figures on a piece versus the crossed rifles and swords and stuff, you can go that route. Again, these are glossy. There are more units in this one than in the previous. I think we're close to 80, 85 blocks in this one. You know, you've got Indians, you've got the British and Americans, the militia. And some pretty cool rules with this one. Again, it comes with a battle board, so I'm not going to bore you with another picture of a battle board. The game board. Game board's a bigger one. Bigger game board, bigger game board. Showing the area around upstate New York. You've got holding boxes for the commanders that'll create a fog of war to where like you can put the commander on here and then any forces moving with them on here. So all you may see as the opponent is one block, whereas there's 4 blocks actually with them, or 8 blocks. And for the British, I think Burgoyne goes to like 10 or something. You have, in this one, what's different too, you have blue roads that are river. Basically, it reflects moving along the river. Only heavy artillery can only go on those. Light artillery can go on the brown roads, or any units can go on the brown roads. The British have a couple different avenues here, and they've got a couple different options, such as starting on turn 14, it's a 20-turn game. The British can roll to see if Clinton moves up from New York City, at which point it forces the Americans to withdraw some forces off the board. But again, nice hard mounted board, wrapped edges. I like that on these games. It looks good. It just looks nice, feels nice on these. And again, 8-page color rule book. Good graphics, a lot more graphics. We show graphically the setup here, talk about the Indians, things like that. The Indians are pretty cool in how they can retreat before a battle. Supply. And some good examples. Anything in the big blue here are examples. Victory conditions. And then again, a historical summary and some game strategy. These are designed by myself and Mike Wiley, my business partner, uncle. And these are real labors of love. Mike is a huge Revolutionary War fan. And from the get-go, this has been a labor of love. Just wanted to show you some of the materials in it. I'm going to lay these out, take some pictures, and we'll intersperse them throughout the video that you just listened to. Guys, these are still available for pre-order at the Kickstarter price on our website. So if this interests you, we should be shipping these around the either end of January or 1st of February. You can get all 3 on our website, if I'm not mistaken, for $150. And if I'm wrong, then it'll be in the, I'll put a little disclaimer in the credit, but I'm just going off the top of my head. But 3 games, 150 bucks. It's a good deal if you don't have any of these. And I believe this one is 65, MSRP 75. So if you've got the other 2, you know, you can order this one alone and be up to date. Guys, with that being said, as always, play a game, teach a game, but most of all, happy gaming. I'm going to see you tomorrow with a game review on a game. So, happy gaming.